Okay, I'm here with Rabbi Ash. This is one of Melbourne's premier vendors of the four kinds. Rabbi Ash was my principal in yeshiva. He's made me the man I am today. All right, over to you.
Thanks for that, Rabbi. Glad to take credit. On Sukkot, one of the main mitzvahs, besides of course sitting in the sukkah itself and having our meals and enjoying our life, is that on the first day of Sukkot it is a mitzvah to take the four kinds and to join them together and to make a slight shake. This year, being that the first day is Shabbat, we don't do it. The Chachamim said not to do it on Shabbat, so then we do it on only on after Shabbat, on Sunday, which is the second day. Now here, let me show you what the four kinds are. The first of the four kinds is the etrog. This is the rabbi's etrog, beautiful yellow etrog. His is unique in that it is grown in Calabria in Italy, which is renowned and by tradition the first place where the mitzvah, where the etrogim were used for the very first time as a mitzvah. So it's brought by tradition that the Moshe Rabbeinu sent messengers to southern Italy. That was renowned as the most fertile place to collect etrogim. Of course, they didn't have those things in the desert at the time when they were traveling, and they brought them back and they used those etrogim. So Calabria is one of the original places for growing etrogim. In the 1800s, they replanted and planted etrogim in Israel. Now Israel is the most popular place for etrogim. Here is an example of an etrog, for example, that is from Israel. And I'm not going to explain you all the differences, but let me show you what's special about an etrog. What makes it different to a lemon, for example, is that firstly, you may notice that the stem is recessed in. That's unique to an etrog. That's a sign that it's an etrog and not grafted with a lemon. A lemon is round and the stem sits on the outer edge. Also, you may see these ridges and bumps, which to the naked eye, if it's the first time you see them, may look not nice, but in fact that's nice for an estuary because that differentiates it also from a lemon. The fact that it's got those ridges and bumps, a lemon doesn't have that. And internally they're different too. Unusually, the seeds inside a lemon, the seeds lie horizontally. Next time you cut an orange open, the same. The seeds lie horizontally, but in an etrog, the seeds lie vertically in that sac where the fruity part is.
And some of my congregants would want to know about the fact that those two that we showed didn't have a pitum, didn't have the little, what do you call it? The little
pitum, the little tip on the top. The tip. Right. So look, an etrog when it grows on the tree can grow with or without a pitum.
Yep.
And therefore it's neither a make or break as far as an etrog is. Even as far as the law is that if it grew with a pitum and whilst still attached to the tree, the pitum fell off, not a problem at all, because that's the normal way of growth. If, however, it grew with a pitum, it was cut off from the tree, and then later the pitum fell off, it is possible that it would not be acceptable for the first day, but you'd have to see how it was cut off. If it was just cut off and there's still a little bit of stick left on the top of the etrog, you only lost the little fat part, that would still be acceptable. So
we've got some for the East Melbourne order that do have the pitum on it, I think. Is that? I think one of the white ones underneath.
Okay.
So that's a pitum.
Yes, that's a pitum.
That's actually quite a nice estuary as well.
Okay, if you get them tight, there's two parts to a pitum. There is the large flowery part on the top called the shoshanta.
Yes. And
here is the stick. Well, it's still green and fresh. That is actually that's what's defined as a pitum.
Right.
That stick part there, and this is shoshanta.
Yeah,
so if the shoshanta fell off and the stick was still there intact, it would still be completely kosher and usable to a blessing.
It's one of the great kind of moments of controversy at the shul is when somebody whacks off the pitum on the first morning of Sukkot. And then the remaining four kinds. So we've got...
So I'll take this out of the pack. This is myrtle.
Myrtle. Very nice.
Madassim.
Are these grown in Australia?
No, they won't.
They're not.
You can grow myrtle in Australia, but for some reason, if any of your congregants can find myrtle where the three leaves are growing at the same
Yeah,
level,
at the equipo. Yeah, the
at the very same level,
yeah.
then that would be unique. I've never seen it here. I've seen plenty times hadassim replanted, but not to grow three at a time, so we have to go to Israel. As you go down this, look at this. Even as you go right down to the bottom, the leaves are growing at exactly the same level.
Yeah, so this is very important for the Jews in the north because there's a great equality here. No leaf stands above the other. Everyone is. This is a very progressive ideal of having everyone on the same level. Okay, so that's the myrtle, and that represents, I guess, a fine fragrance. They still have a
Yes,
smell to them.
They do. They have
It
a fine
represents
fragrance.
that's the element of produce or of agriculture that comes with fragrance.
I might relate to you a story about that.
Okay,
And these are the willow. These willow are imported from the United States.
right.
How's your Hebrew? Your Yiddish, actually.
Monsieur Ovis.
Or in English?
Monsieur Ovis. Keep refrigerated. So these are not picked from the Yarra or the Maribyrnong or something.
Picked up in upstate New York and flown out.
So
here.
why can't we just get them off the
Yeah,
off the
because
Merry Creek?
You could, but you won't get willow where the leaf is growing right off the stem.
Okay.
You'll have little branches.
Little offshoots.
Right, so that's each one of those offshoots is an arava.
Right.
So if, like this year, there's a tremendous dearth of arava here,
Yeah.
and none of it has got through. Quarantine has held back so many shipments, including
Yeah.
mine, many thousands. So we might need to come on to using that. But if you don't have to use it, it's better to take these arava where they're grown like this.
Right. Okay. So there's a balance there between shopping locally, but also getting the optimum form of arava. So maybe for when we bang the aravas on Hoshana Rabbah.
Dovey. Okay. And this is the lulav. This is off a date palm,
Okay.
also brought from Israel,
Okay.
because we don't actually have very many date palms growing here.
No.
We have canary palms, which don't produce edible dates, and it's got to be able to produce edible dates. This is from the high. This is at the top of the tree, in
Yep.
the center of the tree. It's called a virgin palms because the leaves haven't started to spread out like a massive, like the palms that we use for schach. It's the same thing.
And what are we looking for as far as the kosher status of these? So,
Okay, so this thick green thing is called the spine or the shedra. Here, Rabbi, if you put one eye down there, I mean, lahavdil. I'm not trying to say that I'm looking at a snooker cue, okay? but if you do, if you see that green is running straight like this, is running dead barrel straight,
yeah,
then that's a very good sign.
it's not leaning to the right or to the left,
Yes.
which is a political statement as well. Okay, so this is
And we try to have all the leaves stuck together.
okay. So there's a kind of a constant theme here of what we would say is unity, whether it's the hadassim, the aravas, the lulav, the etrog, or they're being bound together, represents the theme of unity, of bringing together all different species, all different kinds of agricultural produce. Okay, thank you very much. And what would a set go for, just to talk financials for a second?
Well,
I know you've looked after East Melbourne shul.
my
special
stats, I don't. I'm not a big vendor, as Rabbi Good was pointing out, that I'm one of the main vendors.
A boutique.
I am a boutique vendor, meaning that I only have a niche market because I bring in only good quality. So I'm not going to be the cheapest.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the cheapest. I'm trying to get the best that I can. So hold on to your hats.
Yeah.
Because if you go for the top Calabrian estrog, you know, that can go for, with the lulav and with the hadassim, with the aravas, etc., that can go for more than $400. But I think I've done a very special deal for Rabbi Gutnick. Maybe he'll publicise what it is.
Yeah. Well. The main thing is it's a very important mitzvah, and you never lose when you spend on an important mitzvah. You always end up ahead. After all, what has God gifted us the resources for than for such things as celebrating this important mitzvah?
Oh, thank you, Rabbi. I think I should have said that to you before we fixed a price. Anyway, but I do.
Talk the talk.
But I do sell generally an full Israeli set, altogether for approximately 180. That will get you a really fine quality etrog and a beautiful lulav and beautiful hadassim in our office.
10 times high.
Yeah, but for the East Melbourne shul, we made a special deal which hopefully
Hopefully will get passed on by the middleman, the rabbi. Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Ash. That's really great insights into what is a very special part of the Jewish calendar year. There are some lovely scents of all the vegetation that's here, and we're looking forward to, even in these unusual times, celebrating Sukkot together with this important mitzvah, lulav.